What do you love doing, but hate succeeding in? Eating the entire pack of cookies. Getting fat. It's so much fun on the way there, but being there sucks and I immediately want to leave. Taking a long, nice nap, but then realizing you slept for 3 hours and won't be able to fall asleep tonight. Work ethic. I like getting work done with time to spare. I hate that this puts me in a position of getting more work to do without any of the benefits. Reading books. Especially good books for the first time. You're on a journey. Have no idea where the end is. At some point it's over, and you know you'll never experience that book the same way again. There are the very rare books where knowing the end, or key bits of information, make the second or third read just as good. I work for a lawyer and so I like winning court cases. It's good to see your client get a good result from the judge or jury. Most of the cases I work on are family law or divorce cases. I enjoy the work. I like helping people. But no one really wins in those cases. I can't really congratulate someone on the destruction of their marriage. So, while I'm happy to see each case concluded, it's sad because that family is destroyed in the process. There is always a moment towards the end of a video game where you have to decide to finish the main mission, beat the final boss, and lose interest. Swimming, cause if I do good at morning swim events I have to go back in the afternoon. Building software that sounds fun to build or that people would be interested in using. I like making the software, but I don't like providing support for people to use it, which is inevitable if other people are interested in it. Sudoku. The more I succeed, the more boring it gets. Graphic design. I love doing it, but as soon as people find out you do it for a job they automatically need your help in building their website, making a logo for their idea, editing photos, etc. I wouldn't mind this. But like, maybe pay me for this skill I learned and got a degree in. They always assume it's free for some reason. Well, you did it. You got the blackhead. Your chin is a mess now. Happy. Spoiler. Not really. Letting my kids win at Mario Kart. Just to be clear, I love the idea of letting them win, but it pains me to actually do it. Love working on cars, but sometimes hate being real good at it. When your whole family buys junkers, knowing you can fix them cheap, the phone never stops. This is also why I do not own a cell phone, lol. Playing fighting games. My friends constantly whine at me if I win because you're more experienced, it's not fun, and I'm not good enough to enter tournaments either. I'm in a weird limbo. Astronomer here. Some years ago, I was involved in a program that scanned the night sky searching for near-Earth asteroids that would hit the Earth someday. It was super fun, especially if you find an asteroid, but yeah, you really don't want to find an asteroid on collision course that will kill us all. Reading, because I hate the feeling when you end a book and you can never read it for the first time again. Finishing video games. Once I beat that end boss, I no longer have an excuse to continue playing. Procrastinating. I work in visitor management in a care home. My job is to sit in the entrance and make sure no one infected with COVID comes in by measuring temperature and testing for COVID on everyone who tries to enter. If I succeed in keeping COVID out, I probably just sent someone home who hasn't seen their old, and sometimes sick loved ones in literal months and has waited to get a time slot where they're allowed to visit, only to be then sent home by the hole at the door because they had a light fever. I do a lot of wood carvings. Faces. Bodies. Animals. Smoking pipes and so on. You spend a lot of time doing it just to make it perfect. But when you're done it's like, oh, I'm done. I gotta give you away now. It's like giving away a part of yourself. Probably eating, because if you eat something good, if you succeed in eating, the feeling just goes away. Browsing Reddit instead of doing my schoolwork. I love making and selling cakes, baked goods. But I dread every order because it means more social interactions. Take the cake and go away. Proving people wrong. Making babies. My girlfriend plays the violin in a folk rock band. She's the best thing about the band. Built hates having all the attention on her. Playing video games with my wife. Telling stories. I feel alive in the moment, but once I've complete and people laugh, it's over, and it's a letdown. Working under pressure. I always pull through at the last second, but God, I wish I could just do stuff in advance. When I worked at Walmart I used to love tossing the truck, however it got to the point that I was doing it every day because nobody could keep up with my pace. Procrastinating. I waited forever to leave this comment. Now it will never get seen. Drinking. I love the taste of alcohol. Beer, whiskey, bourbon, gin, whatever. I love all alcohol, but I hate getting drunk because I act like a clown and spend money impulsively. Acting like a dumb frock around people just so they don't bother me. Masturbating. Premature ejaculation. It feels so good but it feels so bad. Raising dogs. By the time they old enough to be sold to a new home you love them to death and it's hard to let go. Edit. That's a lot of upvotes. Thanks fellow Redditors. Oh. Gaming anime. Straight pain when I finish the game or the show that I'm watching. So bad it brings me to tears sometimes. Karaoke. I can never have the fun of karaoke because I'm musically trained. And I can't really pretend to mess around with the song so I end up taking it way too seriously and no one enjoys it. My job. I really enjoy what I do. I get great reviews. I could see myself doing this job the rest of my life. Instead, my managers are pushing me to take on bigger projects and take more of a managerial role. I don't want to be a manager. I'm not a people person, and I don't want to manage people. Finishing a really good book. You start to notice the number of remaining pages doesn't feel quite as thick as it once was. Come to the realization that in just a few short pages it will all be over. And there is nothing you can do about it. Then it's done. You close the book and look around only to find that everyone is going about their day like you didn't just suffer some emotional trauma at the hands of a paperback. Trying to wake up when the alarm rings. I was late to a mystery book series that my friends really like. As I caught up, I loved telling those friends my theories on what was going to happen. Unfortunately, I was often at least partially right and bad things happened to good characters. I work in IT and love technology. I'm doing fairly well, but still learning and moving up. Suddenly everyone in my family, all my aunts, uncles and friends of my parents are calling me every time their internet goes down or they can't print. Lockdown has been a nightmare for me. Edit. I should add that I don't even do desktop support as my job, so half the time I don't know the answer either. Hockey practices. Same as the swimming guys situation. Trash talking in anything. It's fun but every damn time I always feel like I went too far. I just end up feeling so bad. Helping people in a thankless environment. Probably partially my fault hoping for a thank you or to be noticed but I will always help no matter what. Playing video games. When I get too good I stop enjoying it and playing altogether. I love the challenge. The feel of failing and looking for a different solution. Trying and trying until I succeed. I hate when I succeed without a challenge. I enjoy even games where succeeding is not super hard, but make it feel like you worked for it. I don't like just being too good or having it too easy. I hate that. Being better than everyone else at something. You don't enjoy beating the living hell out of them, but don't enjoy purposefully losing. There is no fun in losing on purpose. Love baking. Love eating sweets. Hate myself after eating the whole frocking tray. Fighting. I definitely don't ever want to do it for real or harm anyone. Building Lego sets tbh. I love the process but never know what to do with the stuff after it's finished. Once it's finished I'll be proud for like 1 second and after that it's just taking up space. Whenever I make a prediction or assume the worst, and it happens, it makes me feel like shit. I don't want to be right when the outcome is disaster. Having a scathing, self-deprecating, borderline abusive, ever-present and omniscient inner monologue. I did well in tech for a while. It's just an evil industry run by insufferable people. It's the pits. DRM shouldn't exist for frocking Keurig machines. The thought that my work helped usher in surveillance capitalism makes me want to vomit. And there isn't even a real place in STEM for people who don't want to suck up to these shitheads unless you count non-profit charities. That's not even touching the shit I'm not allowed to say. Which let me tell you there's a lot and it's all horribly dark. Like I'm slowly transitioning into living in a solar-powered cabin in the woods. I can't be around tech anymore, it's too depressing. Telling people at work about the shit that's about to go horribly wrong and then being right about it. Gardening. It's all fun and games until there's 60 cucumbers in your refrigerator that you don't know what to do with. My friend actually dropped out of culinary academy because it was making him hate food. And he didn't want to lose his passion for fine dining. So he went into advertising, and has always allotted a big portion of his income to swanky restaurant meal 7 when he was just starting out and desperately poor. He found the best way to engage in fine dining was as a customer. Picking on scabs. Sadly, I'm full of scars now. Playing board card games with my kids. Being lazy. 6. Very fun, but don't want kids. Playing a video game. I love the game, yet I hate it that I'm one step closer to beating the game. What I mean is, playing the game is fun, finding secrets, beating bosses, passing stages, etc. But when you beat the game and the entirety of the game, You realize that the game is over. No more playing the game because you know what is gonna happen. This, people, is what you call despair. Fishing. There is something quite zen about getting your casting right in form and accuracy. Coupled with some friends, it can be very relaxing. Then you catch a fish and have to deal with it. I hate how friendly and sociable and talkative I am with just about everyone, depending on the vibe. It puts me in a situation where I have to endure some pretty awkward conversations. Eating. Favorite activity. But between my lifelong weight issues, an eating disorder, and a laundry list of foods I'm not supposed to eat due to my insides being picker than a vegan at a vegetarian convention, I end up paying for ingesting pretty much anything. Playing Bloodborne. After 6 cycles it became so easy I can kill most bosses in first try. I am not flexing. I just put so many hours into that game that I know every cheese strategy and can predict every move. Man, I wish I could experience it all over again. Only DLC gives me some challenge.